Hello, my name is Pat Matheson, and I am delighted to be here today participating in the series Recognizing Neighbors of Black Excellence. And today we are focusing on those who have been champions in social justice and community. And I couldn't think of anyone more deserving of these accolades than my dear friend, Miss Nicole Yates. Welcome, Nicole.
Thank you so much. You and Crystal Goodner have the best jobs. I've always wanted to be a political commentator, so this is cool. Thank you for having me.
Well, you are more than welcome. I thought when they selected you as a recipient of this award, I thought it was just perfect. And for those of you who may not know who Nicole is, she is the Olivia Pope of Louisville. Even though she lives in Indiana, she worships on our Indiana campus, but she knows all things Louisville. So I just wanted, I was honored to be the one that was going to interview you and be able to share in this time, because we got a lot of catching up to do. And so we're going to jump right in.
Okay.
And so I've got some questions I want to ask you, and I want you to respond back. And so let the people know exactly who you are, okay?
Okay.
All right.
I'll do it.
So tell me what Black history means to you.
You know, I thought about that, and I think, part of the word history is story, and so history is a story, and good or bad. And I feel like our history should be told, good or bad. Mm-hmm. It should not be left out. It should be told like everyone else. And Black history is not just the month of February. It is 365 days a year. I celebrate people and Blackness every day of the year. And so that is what Black history is to me. Our people, we are excellent, and we are resilient, and we are smart.
We are.
We're all those things, and we're beautiful. So
you're exactly right. I like that. So I know that you've done lots of things in our community, and some things that have directly impacted others and helped to mold and affect change that is happening right here in our community and our world. So share with us your story and how you've managed to shape or make history.
Well, I really never thought of myself as a history maker. What I have always thought is that I will do whatever I can, help everyone I can, follow the rules, stay within the guidelines, which I don't always stay within the guidelines, but that I would do my part, right? And that I would do that mostly in the background. I don't have to be in the front. Actually, you get more work done in the background, and so I had no idea. But in life, I wanted to be intentional about helping my people. And God gave me access, and I prayed that and promised him that if he gave it to me, I would make sure that my people had access. Amen. And I do that. And I'm an advocate, and at times I should not be an advocate. So I'm honored to be here today, because I never really think of myself as a Black history maker. But if I am going to be chosen as that, I hope that my story is well.
Good, good. So tell us, how did you get started? Because I don't know that.
Oh, that's interesting. So I, working, going to college, my dad had died. A congressman in Indiana, Congressman Barron Hill, was looking to diversify his office. Someone recommended me, I don't know who. I had been working on some campaigns behind the scene. I didn't know that was my thing. And I went to work for Barron and did very well at it. And then the opportunities just came. Barack Obama's campaign tapped me in 2008. So I was a very big part of turning Indiana blue in 2008. And so then I gained access to the White House. Mayor Fisher, I had met him along working with Barron. And after Barron lost, I called Mayor Fisher and said, probably don't remember me, but here's where I met you. I'm looking for a job. Hired me right away. went on to work for Congressman John Yarmouth, and so ran lots of many campaigns, done some strategic work and consulted. So all those things, and I've consulted and helped on many campaigns, and a lot of them people don't even know about. So, but it runs deep in me. I don't, my family members, they're not necessarily interested in politics, but I have forced myself in politics on them. And it's fun because on election day, I put them all in a group text and make them tell me if they've gone to vote or not. And then what happens is they start telling on each other, so-and-so hasn't been to vote yet. And so then they don't want to hear me on their back. So they do it. But it's been a long journey. It's been a great journey. I had great parents. I have great sisters and a brother and nieces and nephews that I love and that love me, and they have been my foundation. So, yeah, it's, you know.
Well, I know that you do a lot behind the scenes. I've been privy to witness some of those things, but I also commend you because you are a hands-on, boots on the ground type of girl. You know, she's dressed up today, and you all might see the suit, but she gets her hands dirty. And one of the other things, outside of all of the political things that she does, she's also a board member for the Family Life Center. And when the pandemic first hit, it was Nicole that came out and helped me get these, go to Sam's. We were making Sam's runs every Monday to go pick up toilet paper, paper towel, and bottled water.
You made me go to Walmart. Every Monday.
And she don't shop at Walmart. So
oh my God! Just because they don't have enough.
We had to get eggs at Walmart
and bread.
and bread. So I've seen you firsthand, you know, get in there and put your hands to the plow and do the work. And that's what I believe leadership is all about. I mean, we can have leaders that sit in offices and high places, and that's great, but to see a leader that doesn't mind getting in the trenches with the people to affect change is just something that I love to see. So tell me, what was your motivation in going down the path that you chose?
Oh, I don't know. One, I knew that I love community, and so I wanted to do some community work. I had no idea this would be my path at all. And so just being an advocate. So one of the things most of you who know me well is that I don't mince words. And so people who if I felt like someone was being mistreated or there was a way that this could be done and all of those things, I just felt like, oh, they need an advocate, you know, and I'm just like, oh, let me figure out who I know that can help this person. And so I had no idea, but it has become my life's work and community service. And so I know, you know, we probably should have been afraid of the pandemic, but we were out there and delivering boxes, you know,
we were
delivered.
Safe, we were
safe. We were masked up and tried to stay 6 feet. But it was, you know, I looked forward to it every Monday. I knew that I was going to get to come and work at St. Stephen. It's how I got out of the house, and it was just so amazing to see that people were grateful that they didn't have to leave and go to the grocery store to get the things. And so thank you for letting me be a part of that. And I got pulled away at some point, but the whole time that I did, I was so grateful for it. It was peace, as you know.
Yeah, it's always great giving back, and so I just enjoyed, you know, sharing that time with you. It was wonderful.
We had some good times.
We've had some great times. Now, when you set up to work and operate in your profession, which is kind of changed now a little bit. Did you ever imagine that you would be a trailblazer?
No, not at all. And it's not what I set out to do, you know, and I get nervous, like, you know, even thinking about it. I just knew that I needed to give back to my community, and I needed to have a meaningful life, you know, God has given me so much, and I am blessed, and I needed to be able to do that. I wanted to do it. It's nothing that anyone makes me do, and at times I overextend myself because I'm like, I want to do that, I want to do that. But I had no idea that I'd be a trailblazer, and the fact that you think I'm a trailblazer and others, I'm honored by that. I really just want to do my part and help and be a good citizen and and be an advocate for people, whatever that may be. And in my role now as the VP of Community Engagement, I still am in the community. That's what I'm doing. You and I and the Family Life Center and other places, we have teamed up. We did COVID testing and we did vaccinations. And we were here every Sunday in the month of October making sure that members had access to those things because, again, we knew that vaccines was a barrier for our people having access to it. And we made sure that everyone we could think of had access to the vaccines. And so that was another,
So if you could think of one thing, and I mean, you're really just getting started.
Yeah.
You've done a lot, but you're just really getting going. But from when you started to now, if you could think of one thing that you wanted to be remembered for most, what would it be?
Well, if you're going to remember me, it's hard to think about, someone remembering you that you're not here.
Right.
But that my story, right? And that if people are going to remember me, that they remember the part of the story that I was kind and that I care about people and that I helped. And that I just made an impact on this community in some way, small or large, if people are going to remember me.
Okay. So looking back in history, Black history, who inspires you?
Oh my gosh, my mother, she had 8 children. Good Lord, 7 girls. Can you imagine the drama?
Girls.
1 boy. My Nana, Anna Catherine Hickerson, would take me to church with her and her husband, Paul, I call him Hick. And there's all kinds of people. When I started NAACP, Faye Allen would tell me to walk with authority. Miss Phyllis Thomas in New Albany, she would always give me advice as a young lady on, I was going through some things in life, and she always just gave me great advice and to walk with grace. And so there, and that's present. I think about how I was involved with the Obama campaign and Michelle Obama. So lots of people were trailblazers, and they paved the way for us. And I do not take that for granted. I mean, I at times I'm thinking, oh Lord, why me? But I thank God every day for it. I mean, I can't imagine. I had no idea. As a little girl, I never said that I wanted to, be a trailblazer, work in the community, and do all these things I didn't know. But I am so glad that God paved this way for me.
Now, let's talk a little bit about, because you were very instrumental in our city, the city of Louisville, during our the Breonna Taylor situation. And I know, and I don't know that everybody else does, but you played a pivotal role in the relationship between government and the protesters.
Yeah.
Tell us a little bit about that.
It was a time, which is how I ended up getting pulled away from our Monday trips to Walmart. But I believed in the movement and the cause of the movement. And remember, again, I said that if God granted it to me, that I would make sure that my people had access. And if there's nothing else about me that people don't know, it's like I love being Black. I mean, I really do.
I said I love being Black.
And so it was a time where I had these relationships with government because of my work there, and I had some relationships with the protest leaders, not all of them. Some of them I met along the way. But what I knew was that at some point that someone needed to help them understand and help them get in the door, because again, access, right? Our people, we don't always have the access. And I I had those relationships and I had those skills to do it. And so um, every every day during the protest, I made sure that things were heard, that the and I protested too. So like don't get me wrong, and I was going out there in my blazer and my heels, and then I had to switch up, put my flats on. Um, but I wanted to make sure that they were protected and that they were being heard, and that we were being heard, not they, we were being heard, and we were being protected. And so it is another thing that goes down in one of the things in life that I am so glad that I was part of. Who knew that I would live to see a black president, a pandemic, social unrest, and a protest? And I love a protest, so I mean, for sure. And, you know, and I also believe that we can do things in a nonviolent way. And so I wanted to help wherever I could. And that's where I could fit in. I had those relationships. And I always say, get in where you fit in. And that's where I could fit in. And so I took it to heart. And it kept me up. It kept me up at night. But I wouldn't change a day of it.
Well, thank you, honey.
Well,
thank you.
Thank you.
for
I
what you do.
appreciate
Thank
that.
you.
Yeah.
So now, looking at your membership here at St. Stephen, your role in politics, your role as the community engagement VP, and all of the things that you do. How do you think being a part of St. Stephen helps inspire you to be a world changer and, you know, promote, enhance a new agenda?
So you've changed your Black History Maker, Trailblazer, now world changer.
World changer.
The pressure is on. I will tell you that you've heard me reference God here a lot, and it's a big part. My faith, my family, my friends. This is the place that I choose to worship and receive God's word and the energy from God and renewal. And so my life, and I cuss a little, but you know,
But I love God.
But I love God. And so it is the base of my being, and I can't imagine not having faith. I don't understand people who don't have faith, because even, you know, anything, jam my finger, I'm like, oh, thank you, Jesus, you know, Lord. It just, it is the very being of who I am, and it is why I'm here. I did not do this alone. No.
Well, I commend you. You know, you are a friend. I'm so proud of you. Proud of the work that you do, both here in Louisville and in Indiana, because you've received many accolades in Indiana. Didn't you just receive something from the chamber?
Yeah.
Yeah. And so it's not just in Louisville, but it's in Indiana. And I think I applaud our media marketing team for creating this platform to recognize our very own members, because we are sitting in the midst of greatness and we don't even realize it. I bet you some of you on that Indiana campus had no idea that Nicole Yates was the Olivia Pope of our time. So I'm just excited about it. And this is my last question for you. When it's all said and done, what do you want the history books to say about you?
I want, if the history books are going to talk about me, I really just want them to be clear on my story, and that was that I was kind to people. And that I help someone, and that the fact that even if the story is told about Nicole Yates, that she had loving people who surrounded her. She had a squad of people who every day that were around her, and that I did everything I could to make this community and this world a better place for the next generation, and for us here now and forever on. if the story is going to be told about me.
Amen. Yeah. Well, is there anything else that you'd like to add?
I am honored. Thank you. You're a dear friend, and you know that. And I can't thank you enough. And whoever thought that enough of me to make me a trailblazer of Black history. And I would just like to say that continuing on in this life, that I did not know this is how it was going to be. And you can tell I didn't really study for these questions or anything. But just that if you were going to tell a story about me, was that I was a kind person, and that I did enough that someone is going to tell the story.
Amen.
Yeah.
Well, thank you so much for being with us. We greatly appreciate it. And thank you, St. Stephen, for tuning in to this segment of Recognizing Neighbors of Black Excellence in Social Justice and Community, featuring our dear member from our Indiana campus, Miss Nicole Yates. We'll see you next time.
Thank you so much.